Brad, the next question is for you, and I know it's a part of everybody that's been a part of Mason Nation for a decade or more now, but a lot of people remember our Final Four experience involving our men's basketball team back in 2006. What has been the economic impact of that here for the university and the community?
Yeah, and great question, and I think it's one that we certainly had a tremendous impact on the institution. Certainly for those of us who were not here locally at the time and were watching from afar and had some, just appreciation for what that meant, and not just for those of us that were already familiar with George Mason, but from others that I run across still today, almost daily, that go, that is just almost on the tip of their tongues. I remember that Final Four run, and that is just, one of the great values that that athletics does bring, and it's, oftentimes people wonder why do we do this crazy thing or have this crazy model that's set up the way it is in academia and higher ed and relative to athletics, and some extraordinarily smart institutions obviously across the country do this. But our own, to go back and be very direct on your answer, the Baker report, which was done in an academic unit in sports management here at the university, valued that as having an impact of about a little over $670 million. And when you value all the media that the team generated then, and it's not to mention the other direct and indirect benefits and impacts that inure to the benefit of the institution. So that impact is just extraordinary. And we look back last year, just looking at our conference, the A10, and the numbers, the TV numbers that we did last year, and looking at the teams that were in the tournament and why this is so important in the men's basketball tournament. And one of our schools had a second round TV appearance that was just over 8 million viewers. And if you look at what else in your institutions can sit 8 million people in front of a television set for 3.5 hours, and so that's the kind of value that it brings. And it's sports part of our society. It tells us a lot of who we are. It helps us define our values in many ways, and it's part of our kind of competitive spirit. And so that run was just was an extraordinary statement about the institution and what it's capable of. And no matter what we do, we talk about national excellence and international excellence and being a leader, and that's one of those components of our university in that particular time period that said, we're going to be a leader, and that's what this institution is capable of. It speaks to the spirit here, the entrepreneurial spirit that exists throughout the fabric of the institution.